I Haribol Bhaktivedanta ili Šaktja, napisali ste u obaveštenju koji je stih CC22, ali niste napisali Madhya, lila, lila ili već
Madhya.
ne da traži.
Evo sad će gledati.
Piše na WhatsAppu Madhya.
Madhya.
Dobro, ja sam dobila, ne znam da sam
Na
informaciju.
Viberu si dobila, na Viberu ne piše.
Aha, znači Madhya, ok, hvala, odog da nađem knjigu.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
Radhe Radhe. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hey Niti, you're here.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm just trying to figure out to put the sound. Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Or what's Srila Prabhupada?
Hare Krishna, Hare Bol. So, Naitse is also here, your friend. Hey, Nayanananda, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Hey, you're not speaking anymore? Or you don't have microphone?
Oh, sorry.
Nayananda became very humble now. Mauna.
Hare Krishna. Sorry, I didn't. I put mute.
Yeah, so now that's how we like you.
Voice.
With good humor, always with good humor. And Sue is also here.
Who?
Sue. What's her name? Sue.
Subaga.
Subaga.
Yeah.
Subaga.
Da.
Da. So. And our translator is also here.
Yes, Guru Maharaj, I'm also here. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Yeah, good. We have collected, devotees have sponsored 40 sets during this week.
Also for the new week?
Yes. And if you allow me, I will read the names at the end of the class.
Yeah, or in the beginning.
Okay, also in the beginning.
Then
we have to make it in
and we become fired up.
Yes. So
Nayananda is also in this course?
Yes. Nayananda is also in this course.
But he is in an extra, level, huh?
No, last week he has sponsored one set, and this week he has sponsored 2 sets.
Oh, really? But he also distributes himself, no? This is
yes.
This is really counting, you know?
Yes. Yes, so the Sankirtan scores are as follow for this week.
This is for the first week.
This is now for the second week. For the first week, yes. I can read also for the first week, yes. Okay, first week we have Sasha Radakovic. He sponsored 3 sets. Vanamali, she sponsored 10 sets.
Wow.
Yes. Then Guru Maharaj sponsored also 10 sets.
That's in the first week.
Yes, yes. This is combined. First week and 1 week before the marathon. Yeah.
Wow.
Batin Biljana from Novi Sad, 1 set. This is before the marathon, 4 devotees, 24 sets. Then first week from 1st to 7th. Bhaktamunia from Belgrade, 1 set. Bhaktin Gordana from Novi Sad, 5 sets. Sombor devotees, combined effort, 23 sets. Dahaniyana Kinchana, 1 set. Mataji Parameshwari, 5 sets. Mahananda from Switzerland, 20, not 20, yes, 20 sets. 20? Yes, 20. Mahesh and Kusumika, 1 set.
He's doing for every week or only for 1 week?
Only for 1 week.
Only for 1 week.
Yes. Then we have Mahesh and Kusumika, 1 set. Madhav Prabhu, 2 sets. Trilokeshwara, 5 sets. And Bhaktin Magda, 1 set. These last 4 devotees are from Subotica. That is total of 62 sets. And together 1 week before the marathon and first week, 86 sets or 560 books altogether. And now the second week.
Oh,
Hare Krishna. Bravo, Bhakti.
Transcend book distribution. Okay.
Jai. And now the second week from 7 to 30th December. Bhaktin Nevena from Valjevo, 4 sets. Bhaktin Lorna from Subotica, 2 sets. Then Lila Kamala from Prague, 1 set. Her mother, Mrs. Marcela Kovačević from Kragujevac, 1 set. Bhakta Peggy from Split, 1 set. Vrindavan Biharini and her mother Kirtida, 5 sets from Rijeka. Hare Krishna. Then Bhaktin Gordana from Novi Sad, for 1 anonymous donor who want to say anonymous, 2 sets. Bhaktin Tonka Shalamon. Yes, this is 1 grandmother from Smederevo, 3 sets. Tonka, Bhaktin Tonka. Then Shrivan Prabhu and Mataji Draupadi from Lika, 5 sets. Hare Krishna. Nitilaksha Prabhu from London, 11 sets.
Wow! Hari
Hare Krishna.
Haribol! Haribol!
Bravo, Kuman.
Nayanananda Prabhu from Zagreb, 2 sets.
Oh.
And
Haribol!
Hare
Very merciful.
and
Magnanimous soul. God bless you.
Velikodušna dušo, neka te Bog blagoslovi.
Two, only 2.
How many for next week?
Also 2. We can make 2 every week.
No, you should double.
Double. Okay. 4.
Yep.
Haribol.
Maha magnanimous. Or you can also 3 is also good, as you like, 3 or 4.
Yeah, for now I have 3. For now, I can make 3 more, yeah, or
Okay.
4.
Yeah, that's good. The next time 4.
Okay.
Hare Krishna. Yes, and for the end, Shakti and myself, we have sponsored 3 sets. And during this week, 40 sets has been sponsored. So if we count now a week before the marathon, 24 sets. First week, 62 sets. Second week, 40 sets. It's altogether 126 sets. And 6 books are in 1 set. That means 756 books.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So we are short for 74 sets in order to fulfill our desired goal. That means 200 sets or 1,200 books. That is the goal we have set for marathon. So please, devotees, if you feel inspired still, you can contact us and we can combinedly fulfill our goal. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
How much sets did you distribute?
I'm sorry?
How much sets did you distribute till now?
Of them, how many you already distributed? You distributed all of them?
A little bit more than 20. And I was a little handicapped because Shakti Kladini was very sick last 10 days, so I was not able to go out. I was just able to send whoever order and like this. But next week I will go out and we will distribute much more.
Otherwise you cannot count them, you know, if they're not distributed.
Yes, yes. For now, just sponsored, we can say.
Only sponsored, not distributed.
Yeah, only sponsored.
No cheating going on, huh?
No, not of course.
Odlično.
Yes, I just mentioned this is the name of the sponsors, yes. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, then you have to do something, huh?
Yes, of course.
Granta.
Yes.
Yeah. Nights, how many you did this week?
I did 500.
In one week or all together?
Yeah, from the beginning of marathon.
Yeah, that means your quota.
10 days. Maybe I distribute this week.
That means your quota 50 a day, huh?
Yeah, or 54, between 50 and 40, yeah.
Okay. Odlično. Good.
Dobro.
So we want to start?
Yes, we can start.
Okay, good. Let's. Cartels are not so too loud for you when I play like this?
No, they are okay.
Okay. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi-Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi-Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yasodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yasodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi-Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Radhe Jai Krishna Jai Vrindavan Shri Govinda Gopinath Madana Mohan Jai Radhe Jai Krishna Jai Vrindavan Shri Govinda Gopinath Madana Mohan Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Jai Radha Gopinath Shri Radhe Jai Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jai Krishna Balaram Jai Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Jai Ho Mr. Paramahamsa Jai Stada Satsizim Hati Strain Grace Esi Bhaktinanda Samaraj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai Krantaraj Sima Bhagavatam Ki Jai Samaveta Bhaktavinda Ki Jai All glory to Guru Granga, praise the Prabhupada.
Guru Maharaj, I'm sorry, just before we start, I accidentally skipped over 2 donors. Mataji Jayanti family from Panchevo, they sponsored 5 sets, and Giridhari Prabhu from Veche, he sponsored 2 sets. So now the list is complete.
So now you only have to distribute them, huh?
Yes.
Or install them.
Yes.
So now we have duty to install them in in the libraries and in the houses.
Yes, yes.
I sent you last time the verse,
Yes. Madhya Lila 22:113.
because I didn't spoke about the verse last time, so we can speak about it now.
Da, ovaj stih je trebao da bude prošli put, ali pošto nismo pričali o njemu, ostavili smo ga za danas.
I will not speak too long, hopefully, because this morning was a little long, almost 3 hours.
Nadam se da sad neću pričati dugo. Ovog jutra je bila duga lekcija, trajala je skoro 3 sata.
Almost come near to the records again.
Skoro da opet dolazim do svojih rekorda.
Shaktya, you can laugh.
Yes, finally.
Može da se smiješ.
Means you feel yourself better again, huh?
To znači da se opet osjećaš bolje.
Okay, that's very important, to encourage your husband.
To je veoma važno, ohrabriš svog muža.
Because without Shakti, he will not move.
Jer bez Shakti neće se pokrenuti.
Okay, it's a very famous verse, very nice verse.
Ovo je jedan veoma poznat, veoma lep stih.
Madhya Lila, chapter 22, text 113.
Madhya Lila, 22. poglavlje, stih broj 113.
Only one time gave a lecture about it many years ago in Germany and on a Sankirtan festival or meeting.
Jednom davno sam samo jednom u životu dao stih na ovu lekciju. To je bilo davno u Nemačkoj na jednom Sankirtan meetingu.
So now finally I can try to speak something 25 years or 30 years later.
Sada konačno imam priliku da ovom stihu govorim nakon 25 ili nekih 30 godina, možda čak kasnije.
It's always fresh.
I uvek je svež.
So you can repeat Smartavya,
Smartavya,
Satatam,
Satatam,
Vishnur,
Vishnu,
Vismartavyo,
Vismartavyo,
Na,
Na,
Chatuchit,
Chatujit,
Sarve,
Sarve,
Vidhi,
Vidhi,
Nishedha,
Nisheda,
Syur,
Syur,
Etayor,
Etayor,
Eva,
Eva,
Kinkaraha.
Kinkaraha.
Smartavya Satatam Vishnur, Smartavya Satatam Vishnur, Vismartavyo na Chatuchit, Vismartavyo na Chatuchit, Sarve Viti Nishetyasyur, Sarve Viti Nishetyasyur, Etayor Eva Kinkaraha, Etayor Eva Kinkaraha. Smartavya Sadatam Vishnur, Vismartavyo na Chatuchit, Sarve Viti Nishetyasyur, Etayor Eva Kinkaraha. Smartavya,
Smartavya.
to be remembered.
Treba se sećati.
Satatam,
Satatam.
always.
Uvek.
About Lord Vishnu.
Gospodina Višnua.
Vismartavya,
Vismartavya.
to be forgotten.
Zaboraviti.
Na, not or never.
Na, ne ili nikada.
Chatuchit, at any time.
Nikada.
Sarve, all.
Sva.
Vidhi Nishedha,
Vidhi Nisheda.
rules and prohibitions mentioned in the revealed scriptures or given by the spiritual master.
Pravila i zabrane koji su izloženi u razotkrivenim spisima ili koje je dao duhovni učitelj.
Siu should be.
Treba biti.
Etayo of these two principles.
Ta dva principa.
Always to remember Krishna or Vishnu and never to forget him.
Uvek se sećati Krišne ili Višnua i nikada ga ne zaboraviti.
Eva, certainly.
Svakako.
Kinkara, the servants.
Sluge.
Slugi. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Krishna is the origin of Lord Vishnu. He should always be remembered and never forgotten at any time. All the rules and prohibitions mentioned in the Shastras should be the servants of these two principles.
Prevod i smisao njegove božanske milosti Šrila Prabhupada. Krišna je poreklo gospodina Višnua. Živo biće se uvek treba sećati Višnua i nikad ga ne bi trebalo zaboraviti. Sva pravila i zabrane izloženi u šastrama trebaju biti sluge ta dva principa.
So you read the purport?
Smisao. Ovo je stih iz Padma Purane. Postoji mnogo propisanih principa izloženih u šastrama i uputstava koje daje duhovni učitelj. Ti propisani principi trebaju delovati kao sluge osnovnog principa, da se uvek trebamo sećati Krišne i da ga nikada ne bi trebali zaboraviti. To je moguće kada mantramo Hare Krišna mantru. Zato moramo pažljivo mantrati Hare Krišna Mahamantru 24 sata na dan. Možemo imati neke dužnosti koje trebamo izvršiti po uputstvu duhovnog učitelja, ali prvo moramo izvršiti naredbu duhovnog učitelja da mantramo određeni broj krugova. U našem pokretu svesnosti Krišne preporučujemo početnicima da mantraju najmanje 16 krugova. To mantranje 16 krugova je apsolutno neophodno ako želimo da se sećamo Krišne i da ga ne zaboravimo. Od svih propisanih principa, naredba duhovnog učitelja da mantramo najmanje 16 krugova je najvažnija. Neko može prodavati knjige, propovedati ljudima da postanu doživotni članovi ili raditi neku drugu službu, ali te dužnosti nisu obične dužnosti. One su podsticaj da se sećamo Krišne. Kada idemo sa Sankirtana grupom ili prodajemo knjige, prirodno se sećamo da prodajemo Krištine knjige. Na taj način se sećamo Krišne. Kada propovedamo ljudima da postanu doživotni članovi, govorimo o Krišni i tako ga se sećamo. Smartavya satatam Vishnur vismartavya nađatu džit. Možemo zaključiti da moramo izbjegavati delatnosti koje nas navode da zaboravimo Krišnu i delovati na takav način da se uvek možemo sećati Krišnu. Ta dva principa predstavljaju osnovni temelj svesnosti Krišne.
Omakyati maranyasya agananchana salakyam chakshurum militam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Smartavya satatam Vishnur vismartavya nachatu chit sarve vidhi nishetyasur etayor eva kinkaraha. Krishna is the origin of Lord Vishnu. He should always be remembered and never forgotten at any time. All the rules and prohibitions mentioned in the Shastras should be the servants of these two principles.
Krišna je izvor gospodina Višnua. Trebamo se uvek sećati gospodina Višnua i nikad ga ne zaboraviti. Sva pravila i propisi koji su opisani u svetim spisima trebaju biti sluge da dva principa.
This verse was spoken by Lord Chaitanya to Sanatana Goswami in Kasi. Nowadays, Varanasi has the old name. It's called Kasi.
Ovaj stih je izgovorio gospodin Chaitanya Sanatana Gosvamiju u jednom mestu koje se zove Kasi. Danas se zove Varanasi.
Old name of it is Varanasi. Now it's Kasi.
A staro ime tog mesta je zapravo Varanasi, a moderno ime je Kasi.
So Kashi is very famous pilgrimage as one of the 8 holy cities in India, in Bharatvarsha.
Kasi je jedno od veoma važnih svetih mjesta horočašća, jedno od 8 najvažnijih svetih mjesta horočašća u Bharatavarsha.
Shakti Aladini knows the 8 cities.
Šaktja Kladini zna tih 8 svetih mjesta.
Tell us.
Reci nam.
Yeah, this is Dvaraka.
Yes.
Then Badarikashram.
Yes.
Kasi or Varanasi.
Yeah, anyway, Kashi is nowadays clear. Even in the maps, everywhere, it's only Kashi now. It's not Varanasi.
Yeah. Mathura.
Yeah.
The place where Krishna and Balaram went to school, to Sandipani school.
Avanti.
Avantpur.
Avantipur.
Yeah.
Okay, 5. Punch. Three more.
Yeah, 3 more.
Maybe Dwaraka, maybe.
Ayodhya.
Yeah, Ayodhya, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Dwaraka you already mentioned, not?
Yes, I mentioned Dwaraka, yes.
You're sleeping.
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
not you. Yes. 6 we have.
Yes, 62.
Yeah, 2 are 1 you should definitely know. Jagannath-puri.
Puri, yes. Yeah, Puri.
Huh?
Yeah, Puri.
No.
Yes, Jagannath Puri.
And the last one is Kanchipuram.
Akanchipur.
Kanchipuram. Kanchipuram is in the south.
Yes.
And actually, how to say, the one what you mentioned is not right. Padri is not a Pura, it's not a city.
Yeah.
It's Mayapuri. Mayapuri is, what's the name? Mayapuri. Karanga. What is Mayapuri?
Mathura?
No, Mathura. It's on the bank of the Ganga where Maitreya Muni was situated. Anyway, it's known as Mayapuri. It's not Mayapur Dam, it's Mayapuri. It's on the bank of the Ganga in the Himalayas. So these are the 8 holy cities, and Kashi is one of the most famous of them. Hello.
Yes.
Aha, izvinjavam se. To su 8 svetih gradova Indije i Kasi ili Varanasi je jedan od njih.
So, okay. And Lord Chaitanya, he on the way to Vrindavan, he met Sanatana Goswami there in Kashi.
I na putu za Vrindavan, gospodin Chaitanya je sreo Sanatanu Gosvamija u Kasiju.
Now I remember all the places called Haripur, Hardwar.
To mjesto se zove Hardwar ili Haripur.
Haridwar. So these are the 8 holy cities in Bharatavarsha.
To su 8 svetih gradova u Bharatavarsha.
So, and Lord Chaitanya instructed Sanatana Goswami because he, as I mentioned this morning, Lord Chaitanya wanted to empower Sanatana Goswami with a mission to establish holy place in, how say, holy build temples and establish deity worship and write literatures and give guidelines for the devotees. in
Kao što sam
Vrindavan.
ranije rekao, gospodin Čaitanja je hteo da opunomoći Sanatanom Gosvamija da uspostavi izgubljena sveta mesta horočašća, da piše knjige o predanom služenju, da bi drugi bakte mogli da ih čitaju.
So Sanatana Goswami, although he was born in a Brahmana family, and he was very humble,
Sanatana Gosvami, iako je bio rođen u bramanskoj porodici, bio je veoma ponizan
and he asked the Lord for instruction because although he's born in a how we say in a good family, he's actually not doesn't know who he is.
i on je rekao, iako je rođen u tako dobroj porodici, on je rekao pred gospodinom Čaitanjom da on ne zna zapravo ko je on.
And if he doesn't know who he is, then he also don't know what is my duty.
I on je rekao, pošto ne znam ko sam ja, onda ne znam ni šta je moja dužnost.
Because first we have to realize who you are, and then you can work accordingly.
Jer prvo morate shvatiti ko ste, a zatim delovati u skladu sa tim.
People who don't know who they are and who are in ignorance, then they also work and act in ignorance and die in ignorance.
Ljudi koji ne znaju ko su, oni su u neznanju i tako rade u neznanju i umiru u neznanju.
That would be a waste of the human form of life.
I to je zaista gubitak traćenja ovog ljudskog oblika života.
Because human form of life has a good opportunity to ask questions about the absolute truth, Atata Brahma Jigyasa.
Jer sada u ovom ljudskom obliku života imamo priliku da se raspitujemo šta je krajnji cilj života.
So Sanatana Goswami was very curious how to know who he is, what his real identity is. Of course, not material, but spiritual, eternal identity.
Sanatana Goswami je bio jako željan da sazna šta je njegov pravi, večni, duhovni identitet, ne materijalni.
Because he was not interested in the short term, in prayers. He was interested in shreyas, in the eternal life.
Jer on nije bio zainteresovan za nešto kratkoročno, već za nešto dugoročno, za krajnji cilj života.
Also, if you only are interested in small terms of results, you don't have to contact spiritual master.
Jer ako ste zainteresovani samo za neke kratkoročne životne ciljeve, onda ne morate prići duhovnom učitelju.
Yeah. Like you only go to a doctor if you have a disease.
Baš kao što idete kod doktora, jedino ako ste bolesni.
If you don't feel well, if you feel well and you go to the doctor and the doctor asks you what's the problem, and then you say, oh, I don't know.
Ako ste, na primjer, zdravi, odete kod doktora, on vas pita, pa dobro, kakav problem imate, vi kažete, pa ne znam.
No, actually everything is well.
Sve je sa mnom u redu, sve je dobro.
And you don't have to go to the doctor.
Onda ne trebate ići kod doktora.
And same way, we don't have to go to the spiritual master if you don't ask questions, about to solve the problem of life.
Na sličan način ne trebamo ići kod duhovnog učitelja ako nemamo pitanja o tome kako da rešimo životne probleme.
Like when Srila Prabhupada gave darshan to John Lennon and George Harrison and Yoko Ono.
Kada je Srila Prabhupada dao svoj daršan Johnu Lennonu, Georgeu Harrisonu i Yoko Ono.
So then Prabhupada asked, so you follow any process?
Onda ih je Srila Prabhupada pitao, pa da li sledite neki
then Yoko Ono,
proces?
Then Yoko Ono answered, no, we just live.
A Yoko Ono rekla, ne, mi jednostavno živimo.
Yeah, okay, animals also just live.
Ok, i životinje jednostavno samo žive.
So life is not just meant to live, and to in ignorance and die in ignorance.
Život nije namenjen tome da se živi u neznanju i da se umre u neznanju.
It's meant to ask questions to the person, how to solve the problem of life, how to get knowledge about Krishna.
namijenjen je tome da postavljamo pitanja pravoj osobi kako da rešimo probleme života i kako da spoznamo Krišnu.
If you have no interest in Krishna, you don't have to approach Krishna, the Vaishnava spiritual master.
Ako vas Krišna ne interesuje, onda ne morate prići vajšnavskom duhovnom učitelju.
So, like Srila Prabhupada told, you read Bhagavad Gita,
Kao što je Šrila Prabhupada pitao, da li čitate Bhagavad Gitu?
and then they told, yeah, we read Bhagavad Gita, but which version we don't know.
I onda kad ih je pitao, dobro, koji stih? Pa to ne znamo.
And Prabhupada told, you should read Bhagavad Gita as it is.
I onda je Šrila Prabhupada rekao, trebate čitati Bhagavad Gitu kakva jeste.
George Harrison told, yeah, but we don't know Sanskrit.
Ali George Harrison je rekao, pa mi ne znamo sanskrit.
Because they thought Bhagavad Gita as it is only knowable if you read Sanskrit.
Jer misle da je to nešto uzvišeno samo ako čitate sanskrit.
But then Srila Prabhupada actually meant to read Bhagavad Gita as it is presented by a pure devotee of Krishna who can really represent Krishna's words as they are, as it is.
I onda je Šrila Prabhupada rekao, kakva jeste, znači da čitate reči Krištinog čistog bakte koji je spoznao Krišnu kakav jeste i koji ga može predstaviti takvog kakav jeste.
Srila Prabhupada mentioned many use Krishna and his Bhagavad Gita to push their own purpose.
Šrila Prabhupada je rekao, mnogi koriste Krišnu i Bhagavad Gitu da bi ostvarili neke svoje lične ciljeve.
Why you use Krishna's books and Krishna's knowledge, but you don't give any credit, you don't even mention Krishna?
Zašto koristite Krištine knjige i Krištino znanje, a ne dajete nikakve zasluge Krišti, čak i ne pominjete Krišnu?
So if you represent somebody's words, you also have to mention his name.
Ako predstavljate nečije reči, morate predstaviti njegovo ime.
Because it is not your invention, it's not your creation.
Jer to nije nešto ste vi izumeli, što ste vi stvorili.
They are Krishna's words.
To su Krištine reči.
Krishna's words should not be misinterpreted.
Krištine reči ne trebaju biti pogrešno ili krivo predstavljene.
Ye Krishna Tattva Veta, say Guru Hoy. That's the point. Lord Chaitanya made the point. Ye Krishna Tattva Veta, say Guru Hoy.
Gospodin Chaitanya je naglasio tu poentu.
Yare deke tarika Krishna Upadesh, Amara Gyai Guru Hana Tara Edesh. Kipa Vipra Kipa Nyasi, Ye Krishna. What is the verse?
Kiba Vipra, Kiba Nyasi, Shudra Kena.
Shudra Kena Noi, Ye Krishna Tattva Veta, say Guru Hoy. It doesn't matter who you are by birth.
Nema veze ko ste po rođenju.
It doesn't matter if you're Brahmana or Shudra or Grihasta or renunciate.
Nema veze da li ste Brahmana, Šudra, odvojnik.
So you have to understand and realize and practice Ye Krishna Tattva Veta, the science of Krishna.
Trebate shvatiti i praktikovati nauku o Krišni.
Then you can act as Guru.
I onda možete delovati kao guru.
The Supreme Guru is Lord Krishna.
Svevišnji guru je gospodin Krišna.
Nobody can be Guru or an authority without that he represents Lord Krishna.
Niko ne može biti guru ili autoritet bez toga da predstavlja gospodina Krišnu.
Therefore, Kipa Vipra Kipa Nyasi Shudra Kenano Ye Krishna Tattva Veta say Guru Hoy. So we have to first understand what is Krishna, who is Krishna, what actually is Krishna's desire and Krishna's instruction.
I zbog toga prvo moramo shvatiti i spoznati ko je Krišna, šta su Krišnine reči i šta su Krišnine želje.
Ultimately, Krishna repeats it twice in the Gita, in the 9th chapter and in the 18th chapter, in the final chapter. Sarva dharma parityaja mam ekam sharanam racha aham tvam sarva papivyo moksha shyami masucha. surrender unto me.
I na kraju krajeva Krišna je naglasio jednu pointu i u 9. i u završnom 18. pogledu Bhagavad Gita, ovaj stih, jednostavno predaj se meni.
Don't misuse me for your own pushing your own doctrines.
Nemoj me zloupotrebiti da bi progurao neke svoje ideje ili doktrine učenja.
Krishna doesn't belong to any inferior dharma.
Krišna ne pripada ni jednoj nižerazrednoj dharmi.
Krishna is paradharma. Savai pumsham parodharmo yato bhaktir adokshache. Haitukiya pratiyata yayatma suprasidati. That's stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 2nd chapter of the 1st canto.
Krišna pripada najvišoj dharmi i to je opisano u Srimad Bhagavatamu u prvom pevanju, drugom poglavlju.
The supreme occupation for humanity is to engage in pure devotional service to Krishna.
Vrhovno zanimanje za čovečanstvo je da se uključi u predano služenje Krišne.
Vasudev Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayasu Asavairagyam Gyanam Chayat Ahaitukam. Then naturally you become detached and attached to Krishna and detached from Maya.
Onda prirodno postanete vezani za Krišnu i odvezani od Maje.
And you naturally develop knowledge about Krishna.
I onda prirodno razvijete znanje o Krišni.
Like recently, a few days ago, I sent this one letter from Srila Prabhupada.
Baš kao što sam pre nekoliko dana poslao jedno pismo Srila Prabhupada.
Yes, here. Regarding your question of an initiated person falling prey to Maya, the answer is that so long we are in this material world, there is always chance of being spoiled by Maya.
A što se tiče tvog pitanja da inicirana osoba može pasti nazad u Maju, da, dokle god smo u ovom materijalnom svetu postoji mogućnost i opasnost da opet padnemo kao žrtva Maje.
So we must stick with a vow to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna.
So we must
take a vow, stick to the vow what you give to the spiritual master in the time of initiation and surrender to the lotus feet of Krishna.
Zbog toga se moramo držati zaveta koji smo dali duhovnom učitelju u vreme inicijacije i držati se lotosovih stopala gospodina Krišne.
An initiated devotee is given the chance of becoming free from the entanglement of the karma wheel, of the samsara chakra.
I iniciranom učeniku je data prilika da se oslobodi samsara čakre, kruga rođenja i smrti.
Initiation means to be initiated doesn't mean the end.
Biti iniciran, to ne znači da smo stigli do kraja.
It means the beginning.
To znači početak.
It is not the perfection.
To nije savršenstvo.
So it's only the beginning. It's to get initiation. Diksha. Diksha means beginning, not the end.
To je samo početak, to znači da počinjemo. Inicijacija, to je početak, a ne kraj.
Because by becoming initiated and getting diksha means that's the beginning of your promise that you will surrender and follow strictly the instruction given by the spiritual master.
Inicijacija je početak procesa, a početak vašeg zaveta da ćete striktno slediti instrukcije duhovnog učitelja i svoje zavete.
The spiritual master's business is to guide him to the perfectional point.
Dužnost duhovnog učitelja je da vodi učenika do savršenstva.
But if one does not strictly follow the guidance of the bona fide spiritual master, his initiation does not bear any meaning.
Ali ako osoba ne sledi striktno ono što je obećala duhovnom učitelju u trenutku inicijacije, njena inicijacija neće imati nikakvo značenje.
You should not think, I'm initiated now, so now I'm saved.
Iniciran sam, sad sam spašen.
Therefore I need initiation from a Paramahamsa guru.
I zato mi treba inicijacija od Paramahamsa Guru.
On the highest level.
Ili od nekog ko je na najvišem nivou.
But if you are not able to follow his instruction and to be steady in your devotional service, it will not help you if you even are initiated by Lord Balarama Nityananda himself.
Ali ako niste odlučni, ne slijedite svoj zavet koji ste dali, onda neće vam pomoći čak ni da su vas lično inicirali gospodin Balaram ili gospodin Nityananda.
The initiation performance is an agreement by the disciples to abide to the order of the spiritual master.
Inicijacija je kada učenik daje zavet da će se ponašati po upustvima duhovnog učitelja.
Therefore, if the spiritual master is bona fide and the disciple is also bona fide,
I zbog toga ako je duhovni učitelj vjerodostojan i ako je učenik također vjerodostojan,
only speak about always is the guru bona fide, the disciple also we should ask, is he actually bona fide?
A mi često pričamo da li je guru vjerodostojan, ali zapravo treba da se pitamo i da li je učenik vjerodostojan.
Is he real?
Da li je on pravi?
Because if you have a bona fide guru but you have an unbona fide disciple, then there will be not a result. And if you have an unbona fide guru and a bona fide disciple, also will not be a result.
Ako imate vjerodostojnog gurua i nevjerodostojnog učenika, to neće doneti nikakav rezultat. Isto i ako se desi suprotno.
Prabhupada continues, but if a disciple follows strictly the devotional way of life, he is no longer a karmi, and all his activities, which may appear to be like ordinary work.
Šrila Prabhupada piše, nakon inicijacije, ako učenik slijedi striktno uputstva duhovnog učitelja, onda čak i da radi neki naizgled materijalni posao,
or it may be activity according to scriptural injunction,
ili ako deluje po uputstvima spisa,
are counted as devotional service.
Sve se to računa kao predano služenje.
And devotional service in all circumstances is free from the actions and the reactions of karma.
A predano služenje je u svim okolnostima slobodno od akcije, od zakona akcije i reakcije, to jest zakona karme.
Bhakti yoga devotional service is not under the law of karma, of action and reaction.
Bhakti yoga ili predano služenje nije pod utjecajem zakona karme, zakona akcije i reakcije.
To meet the spiritual master and become initiated and have opportunity to engage in devotional service, we cannot not get through pious activities, even by offering 1000 horse sacrifices.
Ne postoji aktivnost viša od te da se uzme utočište duhovnog učitelja i da se predano služi. Ništa nije više od toga, čak ni 100 žrtvovanja konja.
Devotional service is very rare.
Predano služenje je veoma retko.
Because most of the people in this world, they're not looking for it.
Jer većina ljudi u ovom svijetu, oni uopšte to ni ne traže.
They're looking for something cheap, for something who's maybe popular now, or fashionable, or in trend.
Oni traže nešto što je jeftino, što je popularno, što je možda u trendu.
But they're not looking actually to surrender for surrendering to Krishna.
Ali oni ne tragaju za time da se predaju Guru i Krišni.
They're looking for some sense gratification.
Oni tragaju za nekim čulnim uživanjem.
And amongst millions of karmis, only very rarely somebody asks questions about the problem, solving the problem of life.
I među mnogim karmima retko da se bilo ko pita kako da reši probleme života.
Very rarely somebody amongst them is ready for liberation, for moksha.
I veoma retko se desi da je neko od njih spreman za mokšu, za oslobođenje.
Amongst those who are mokshas, only very rarely somebody becomes a devotee.
I među onima koji su mokše, veoma retko neko postane bakta.
So durlabam prasanatma kodeshapi mahamune. So it's very rare.
To je veoma retko.
That's Bhagavatam statement, 6th canto, Shukadev Goswami speaking.
To je citat iz Šrimad Bhagavatama, 6. pevanja, Šukadev Goswami govori.
Very rare to be, that somebody is one become a devotee of Krishna sincerely, surrendering unto Krishna.
Veoma je retka pojava da se neko preda Krišni, da postane Krištin iskreni bhakt.
Surrendering unto Krishna means to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Because we're always praying, please, my dear Lord Krishna, my dear Radharani, give me the mercy and the power so that I can engage in your devotional service.
Mi se uvek molimo, dragi moji Krišna, draga Radharani, molim vas dajte mi snage, opunomoćite me da se uključim u predano služenje.
So that means if one does this kind of sadhana bhakti process given by the spiritual master, then one has to do it with consciousness, with awareness.
To znači, ako osoba sledi proces sadhana bhakti koji je dobila od duhovnog učitelja, ona ga mora slediti svesno, sa budnošću, sa pažnjom.
It's not just a mechanical process.
To nije samo neki mehanički proces.
So you only do it mechanically and not with the consciousness, then it is practically as you would not practicing it.
Jer ako ga radimo mehanički i nesvesno, to će biti kao da ga uopšte nismo ni radili.
You can remember, happened many times, you chant Gayatri mantra and you forget and you cannot remember. Have I chant the Gayatri mantra now?
Sećate se i sami, mantrate Gayatri, jer jednom kažete, pa da li sam ja uopšte mantrao Gayatri?
If you read something, can I remember that what I have read?
Ako sam nešto pročitao, da li se sećam toga što sam čitao?
If I go on Sankirtan and distribute books, can I remember Krishna there? Or just meditate about Maya?
A kad sam išao da prodajem knjige, da li sam se sećao Krišne ili sam samo mislio o Maji?
Therefore, Prabhupada, he called his society the International Society for Krishna Consciousness.
I zato je Prabhupada nazvao ovo društvo Međunarodnim društvom za svesnost Krišne.
Somebody recommended to him, you should call it the International Society for God Consciousness.
Neko mu je posavjetovao, trebao bi zvati ovo društvo Međunarodnim društvom za svesnost Boga.
Srila Prabhupada didn't like that,
Srila Prabhupada nije voleo to.
Because there are many there's God, but with many different names and different procedures and different cultures.
Jer postoji mnogo ljudi koji pod Bogom podrazumevaju razne običaje, razne procedure, različite kulture.
So his mission, what he received from his Guru Maharaj is to spread the International Society for Krishna Consciousness.
A njegova misija koju je dobio od svog duhovnog učitelja je bila da rasprostrani i proširi Međunarodno društvo za svesnost Krišne.
And Srila Prabhupada therefore insisted that it should be Krishna's name should be there.
I Srila Prabhupada je zbog toga insistirao, Krištino ime treba biti tu.
And also in his books, he mentioned Krishna practically on every page several times.
I u svojim knjigama on je praktično na svakoj strani pomenuo Krištino ime po nekoliko puta.
Because he thought, even if the people will not understand what I'm writing, at least they will read Krishna's name.
I mislio je, čak i da ljudi ne razumeju ovo što pišem, bar će pročitati Krištino ime i zapamtiti.
And in the state, an acharya should always, apply the means how to spread Krishna consciousness according to time, place, and circumstances.
Uvek primenjuje razne načine kako da se širi svesnost Krišne u skladu sa mestom, vremenom i okolnostima.
Like Narad Muni, the Yudhishthira Maharaj was teaching.
Kao na primjer kad je Narada Muni podučavao Yudhishthira Maharaja.
And also Rupa Goswami mentions in Nectar of Devotion.
I Rupa Goswami je to napomenuo u Ambroziji predanosti.
Asma kenapi upayena mana Krishna nijevayet. Somehow or other, one must consider the form of Krishna very seriously.
na neki način osoba mora prihvatiti Krištin oblik veoma ozbiljno.
Doesn't matter out of fear, out of envy, out of love and attraction.
Nije bitno da li je to zbog straha, zavisti, ljubavi i privrženosti.
In a favorable way or an unfavorable way.
Na povoljan ili nepovoljan način.
Somehow or other, Krishna should be remembered.
Na neki način trebamo se sećati Krišne.
So that was Srila Prabhupada's policy. He just wanted to give Krishna.
To je bila Šrila Prabhupadova vodilja. On je na neki način hteo drugima dati Krišnu.
Or he called this book Krishna book, the Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the 10th canto.
I zato je tu knjigu o 10. pevanju nazvao Krishna book ili knjiga o Krišni ili Krišna svevišnja božanska ličnost.
And also in the Bhagavad Gita, practically in every page, Krishna's name is mentioned.
I u Bhagavad Giti praktično na svakoj strani Krištino ime je spomenuto.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna's name is mentioned all the time.
I na svakoj strani Krištino ime je spomenuto stalno.
So he was very insisting.
On je insistirao na tome.
Because many who comment or translate, they put their own consciousness or meaning in it and leave Krishna out.
Jer mnogi koji su prevodili, oni ne bi stavili svoju svesnost tamo, nego bi stavili Krišnu izvan toga.
So then better you don't take Krishna's words, if you don't want to mention Krishna.
I tako da nemojte uzimati Krištine reči ako ne želite da spomenete Krišnu.
Because Krishna came to introduce this Bhagavad Gita as it is.
Jer Krišna je došao da bi predstavio ovu Bhagavad Gitu kakva jeste.
And he spoke to his devotee Arjuna, who was not envious, who was his friend, who was faithful.
I on je izgovorio svom prijatelju i Bhakti Arjuni, koji nije bio zavidan i koji je bio verni Bhakta.
Because Krishna knew Arjuna will not misinterpret my words.
Jer Krišna je znao Arjuna neće pogrešno shvatiti ili pogrešno protumačiti moje reči.
He my bona fide representative.
On je moj verodostojni predstavnik.
So therefore Krishna revealed Bhagavad Gita to him.
I zbog toga mu je Krišna razotkrio Bhagavad Gitu.
So similarly, Lord Chaitanya revealed his very confidential instruction to his very confidential surrendered devotees like Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami.
Na sličan način je gospodin Chaitanya razotkrio svoja poverljiva učenja svojim poverljivim i vernim baktama, kao što su Rupa, Sanatana i Raghunath Das Goswami.
And also in this disciplic succession, the Guru always gave this confidential knowledge to his surrendered disciple.
I također u njegovom učeničkom nasljeđu duhovni učitelj daje transcendentalno znanje svom poverljivom učeniku.
In this way, I would say the message will be bearing a proper result.
Na taj način poruka će doneti pravilan rezultat.
Ultimately, it is not in the hand of the preacher.
Na kraju krajeva ništa nije u rukama propovednika.
Only he tries his best to execute the order of his Guru Maharaj, of the order coming down from Parampara.
On samo pokušava najbolje što može da sledi instrukciju koju je dobio od svog Guru Maharaja, koja dolazi kroz Guru Parampara.
And about this instruction we should always meditate and never forget.
I u vezi te instrukcije, na nju trebamo uvek meditirati i nikad je ne zaboraviti.
It's worshipable.
Ona je vredna obožavanja.
So we worship the shiksha of Guru all the time.
Trebamo neprestano obožavati instrukciju Gurua.
That's called Vani Seva.
To se zove Vani Seva.
The Vani Seva always stays with us.
Vani Seva uvek ostaje sa nama.
We can always stay in contact with Krishna and with Guru by following their instructions.
Uvek možemo ostati u kontaktu sa Krišnom i Gurom sljedeći njihove instrukcije.
There's no difference between Krishna and Guru's instructions.
Ne postoji razlika između instrukcija Krišne i instrukcija Gurua.
That's identical because Krishna reveals himself through the Diksha and Shiksha gurus and even Pratashaka gurus.
Jer oni su identični. Krišna razotkriva sebe kroz Šikša i Dikša Gurua, čak i kroz Vartmana Pradaršaka Gurua.
Therefore it is Krishna who is revealing himself through these great personalities.
I zbog toga Krišna je taj koji razotkriva sebe kroz ove velike ličnosti.
Therefore we have to humbly accept this mercy.
I zbog toga moramo ponizno prihvatiti ovu milost.
That's coming from Krishna directly, not seeing any fault or any mistake in the instruction of Guru.
Kao da dolazi od Krišne lično i ne trebamo vidjeti nikakvu grešku, niti bilo šta da je pogrešno u instrukciji Guru.
So here Lord Chaitanya, he wanted to describe the whole list of sadhana bhakti, the 64 angas.
Gospodin Chaitanya je hteo da opiše čitavu listu sadhana bhakti, svih 64 artikla.
64.
64 artikla.
Beginning with Adhau Shraddha, beginning with Adhau Guru Ashraya, so taking shelter in Guru, following his instruction, accept initiation.
I tih 64 artikla ili udova bhakti počinju sa principom Adhau Guru Ashraya, prihvatiti duhovnog učitelja, prihvatiti inicijaciju od njega.
Follow chanting holy name, read Bhagavatam, living in a holy place.
Pevati sveto ime, čitati Bhagavatam, živeti na svetom mestu.
Circumvallating temple.
Obilaziti oko hrama.
Worship the deity.
Obožavati božanstvo.
With different paraphernalias and items.
Sa različitim priborom za obožavanje i različitim postupcima.
Tulsi Devi.
Obožavati Tulasi Devi.
There are so many different rules and regulations given.
Postoji puno pravila i propisa koji su dati.
Things what we should do. And
stvari koje trebamo raditi.
And things what we should not do.
I stvari koje ne trebamo raditi.
So there are 10 items what we should not do.
Postoji 10 stvari koje ne trebamo raditi.
And we should avoid.
Koje trebamo izbjegavati.
First one, company with non-devotees.
Prvo je druženje sa onima koji nisu bhakti.
Called asatsanga tyaga.
To se zove stručno asatsanga tyaga.
And attempting to make many disciples or followers.
Truditi se da stvorimo puno učenika ili sledbenika.
So that means one should not try to preach and so that you just will have a lot of or many thousands of followers.
To znači da osoba ne treba propovedati samo da bi stekla na hiljade sledbenika.
We should preach as an humble attempt, as a service to Guru and Krishna. Try our best, it's not important the result.
Trebamo pokušati da služimo, da bi zadovoljili Gurua i Krišnu kao instrument, a ne da bi stekli neke rezultate. To nije važno.
The third thing we should avoid is to try to do many things in the same time.
Treća stvar koju trebamo izbjegavati je da radimo puno različitih stvari u isto vrijeme.
That means we should become single-minded in one particular service or just in some service, always in the proper time, not many in the same time.
To znači da trebamo biti usredsređeni na jednu određenu službu, određeno vrijeme, a ne na nekoliko različitih službi u isto vrijeme.
And we should also not read too many books.
Također, ne trebamo čitati jako puno knjiga.
It's also considered unfavorable.
To se također smatra nepovoljnošću.
Not only non-devotional, but I would say what is very popular nowadays, accepting something from this book, accepting something from that book, accepting something from another book.
To se ne odnosi samo na čitanje nedevocijskih knjiga, već također i devocijskih. Danas je postalo popularno. Malo ću uzeti iz ove knjige, malo ću iz ove, a malo Boga mi i iz ove.
It's very popular nowadays.
To je veoma popularno danas.
Something from Bible, something from Islam, something from Buddhism.
Nešto ću da uzem iz hrišćanstva, nešto iz Biblije, nešto iz Islama,
Something from Vivekananda, and then I make my own philosophy.
nešto iz budizma, nešto od Vivekanande i onda ću da napravim svoju sopstvenu filozofiju.
This should be avoided because this only will lead to confusion.
To treba biti izbjegavano zato što će voditi jedino u zbunjenost.
It will lead to impersonalism and atheism.
Vodit će u impersonalizam i u ateizam.
Therefore, we should only read those specific books that are recommended by our acharya.
Trebamo čitati samo one specifične knjige koje nam je preporučio naš acharya.
This is Bhagavad Gita as it is, Srimad Bhagavatam as it is, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Nectar of Devotion.
Su Bhagavad Gita kakva jeste, Srimad Bhagavatam kakav jeste, Chaitanya Charitamrita i Ambrozija predanosti.
Even other devotional books, you should not read just to how say to show yourself how much you know.
A čak i druge knjige ne trebate čitati, da biste samo pokazali drugima koliko puno znate.
Because nowadays we have so many books,
Danas imamo toliko puno knjiga.
so many shastras. We have the Vedas, we have the Upanishads, we have Puranas.
Imamo toliko raznih šastra, Vede, Purane, Upanišade,
Rasika Shastras,
Rasika knjige.
so many different books we have.
Imamo toliko puno različitih knjiga.
So it's very difficult, to fix in devotional service with determination, with a good result if we read too many of these books.
Tako da je veoma teško usredsrediti se na predano služenje ako čitate tako puno različitih knjiga.
Because ultimately, I only need the book what helps us to become Krishna conscious, not to become mental speculators.
Na kraju krajeva, nama su potrebne knjige, samo one knjige koje nam mogu pomoći da postanemo svesni Krišne, a ne da postanemo umni spekulatori.
Even if you read Bhagavad Gita, all the time, you become perfectly Krishna conscious.
Čak i ako čitate samo Bhagavad Gitu stalno, neprestano, postaćete savršeno svesni Krišne.
Our favorite book of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was Chaitanya Charitamrita. He read it again and again.
Omiljena knjiga Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati je bila Chaitanya Charitamrita. On ju je čitao iznova i iznova.
So Srila Prabhupada gave us the essential books, Bhagavatam, CC, and Bhagavad Gita.
Srila Prabhupada nam je dao suštinske knjige, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamritu i Bhagavad Gitu.
And then the fifth item we should avoid is to lament.
Onda peti sastojak ili artikal koji trebamo izbjegavati je da jadikujemo.
Too much lamenting and feel miserable and lament about your misery.
Da se osjećamo previše bednim, jadnim i da kukamo nad svojom sudbinom.
That's also an obstacle.
To je također prepreka.
Then your lamenting about your misery becomes your sense gratification.
Onda kukanje nad svojom sudbinom postaje čulno uživanje.
Oh, my poor me. Oh, I'm so miserable.
O jadan ja, tako sam jadan i bedan.
So everyone feel miserable with you and give compassion to you.
I onda svako ko dođe u kontakt s vama i on postane bedan i da vam nešto samilosti.
But on what? Only on your false ego.
Ali čemu? Samo vašem lažnom ja.
Because of your bodily concept of life.
Jer ste u telesnom shvatanju života.
So therefore we should not lament and how you say and feel miserable and make a show out of it.
Zato se ne trebamo jadikovati, ne trebamo se osjećati jadnima i bednima i praviti show program od toga.
And we should also not be miser in our daily dealings.
Također ne trebamo biti škrtica u svom svakodnevnom ophođenju.
It means one should always be ready to be determined and do the needful.
To znači da osoba uvek treba biti spremna i odlučna da uradi ono što je neophodno.
The devotee is brahmana, that means he is broad-minded.
Bhakta je brahmana, što znači on je veoma širokih vidika.
He's not kripana-minded, he's not a miser.
On nije onako uskogruda osoba, škrtica.
Therefore, he is always well-wishing and try to do the best to serve and please the Supreme Lord, the spiritual Master, and the Vaishnavas, and even to good to all people, humanity.
Zbog toga on daje najbolje od sebe da uradi nešto dobro za celokupno čovečanstvo i za Krišnu i za svog duhovnog učitelja.
We should also avoid negative feelings.
Također trebamo izbjegavati negativna osjećanja.
Lamenting about something what we lost or what we hanker for.
Jadikovati za nečim što smo izgubili ili za nečim žudeti.
And become angry because of that.
I postati ljutiti zbog toga, gnevni.
This anger and lamentation is also it's an obstacle on the devotional service.
Te stvari su također prepreka na putu predanog služenja.
And the thing that we should avoid is to disrespect the devatas.
A sljedeća stvar koju trebamo izbjegavati, to je da ne ukažemo poštovanje polubogovima.
They may be not God, but we should respect them as representatives of God, empowered personalities by God.
Oni su osobe koje su opunomoćeni od strane Svevišnjeg Gospoda.
We don't have to worship them, but we should respect them.
Ne trebamo ih obožavati, ali ih trebamo poštovati.
And then another item is don't create any anxiety to other living beings.
Sljedeća stvar je nemojte izazivati teskobu u drugim živim bićima.
That means don't speak harshly or speak heavily and behave heavily against somebody.
To znači da nemojte sa nikim pričati grubo, ljutito i delovati tako sa njime.
This is called Jiva Himsa.
To se zove Jiva Himsa.
Jiva Himsa is also an obstacle in devotional service.
Jiva Himsa je također prepreka u predanom služenju.
Jiva Himsa can be avoided by becoming a follower of Lord Chaitanya and Srila Prabhupada by giving mercy to others.
Jiva Himsu možemo izbeći tako što postanemo sledbeni gospodina Chaitanya i Srila Prabhupada i damo milost drugima.
By engaging in constant sankirtan and helping others by giving them this knowledge and the holy name.
Tako što se neprestano uključimo u sankirtan i drugima dajemo ovo znanje i sveto ime.
And Krishna Prasadam, of course.
I Krishna Prasadam, naravno.
And then another item is offenses to the deities. So they're seva apparatus. They're 32 in number.
Sljedeća stvar su seva aparade ili uvrede nanesene božanstvima. Njih ima ukupno 32.
And nama apparatus. The 10 nama apparatus.
Onda postoji 10 uvreda svetom imenu.
These two apparatus, nama apparata and seva apparata, it's the 9th item we should avoid.
Nava aparade i seva aparade, to je 9. sastojak koji trebamo izbjegavati.
And the 10th obstacle we should avoid is to hear blasphemy against Krishna and his devotees.
I 10. stvar koju trebamo izbjegavati je da slušamo vređanje i omalovažavanje Krišne i njegovih bakta.
So these are the 10 don'ts.
To su 10 stvari koje trebamo izbjegavati.
There are 10 musts.
A postoji 10 stvari koje moramo raditi.
You like to hear about them?
Da li biste željeli da čujete o njima?
Because it's very important, the musts.
Naravno, jer to je veoma važno, ono što moramo.
Not only the negative things, also the positive things.
Dakle, ne samo negativne stvari, već i pozitivne stvari.
So the first one is Adhau Guru Ashraya, already mentioned, surrender, approaching spiritual master, surrendering under him, Tatvidi Pranipatena, Pariprashnena Sevaya.
Prvo sam već pomenuo, to je Adhau Guru Ašraja, prići duhovnom učitelju, postavljati pitanja, služiti ga.
Second one, to accept initiation, Diksha.
A druga je prihvatiti inicijaciju, dikšu.
And to follow his instructions.
I slediti njegove instrukcije.
It's not that we only accept Diksha and the instruction we neglect.
Nije da samo prihvatimo dikšu, a instrukcije zanemarujemo.
Actually, the instruction is more important than the Diksha.
Zapravo instrukcije su važnije od dikše.
Of course, both is important, but if you only accept Diksha without Shiksha, don't have a proper result.
Naravno, oboje su važni, ali ako prihvatite dikšu bez šikše, nećete dobiti pravilan rezultat.
And then the third item is service attitude to the spiritual master, Guru Seva.
Treća stvar je stav služenja prema duhovnom učitelju, Guru Seva.
Vidhi Paripratena, Pariprashnena Sevaya. Serve spiritual master, either serve him personally or serve his instructions, serving his mission or in temple service accordingly.
Služite ili njega lično ili njegovu misiju ili u hramu po njegovim instrukcijama.
And the fourth item is following the footsteps of the great devotees and previous acharyas.
Četvrto je slediti stope velikih bhakta i prethodnih ačarija.
And the fifth one is inquiring about eternal dharma principles, sat dharma priča.
Peto je raspitivati se o večnim principima dharme, to se stručno zove svadharma priča.
It means we should inquire, how I can make advancement in pure devotional service.
To znači da se trebamo raspitivati kako mogu napredovati u čistom predanom služenju.
Beginning with Adhau Shraddha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivriti, Sadhu Sangha, Anartha Nivriti.
Počeši sa ovim navedenim koracima.
Then the sixth item is renouncing material sense gratification or selfishness.
Sljedeće je napustiti čulno uživanje ili sebičnost.
And only act for Krishna's purpose. And this is called Krishnarte Bhoga Tyaga.
I jedino djelovati za Krištino zadovoljstvo, to se zove tako.
If you give it up for your own self, this is difficult.
Da nešto napustite zbog sebe, to je teško.
If you want to give up something what you are attached for your own sake, this is very difficult.
Ako želite da napustite nešto radi sebe, to je veoma teško.
But if you like to give it up because Krishna is not satisfied with it, then easily you can give it up.
Ali ako znate da nešto radite s čime Krišna nije zadovoljan, to ćete veoma lako napustiti.
That's actually in general the principle.
I to je jedan uopšteni princip.
To do everything for Krishna. Smarta Vyam Sadatam Krishna or Vishnu.
I to je ono što ovaj stih propisuje.
We do everything actually to please Krishna.
Mi radimo sve da bi zapravo zadovoljili Krišnu.
Follow the regulative principle to please Guru and Krishna. We chant 16 rounds Hare Krishna minimum to please Guru and Krishna.
Sledimo regulativne principe da bismo zadovoljili Gurua i Krišnu. Mantramo najmanje 16 krugova da bismo zadovoljili Gurua i Krišnu.
Read Srila Prabhupada's books and distribute them to please Guru and Krishna.
Čitamo Srila Prabhupadove knjige i delimo ih da bismo zadovoljili Gurua i Krišnu.
The worshipping the deities and or visiting temples for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna.
Posećujemo hram i obožavamo božanstva da bismo zadovoljili Gurua i Krišnu.
We like to rise early in the morning for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna.
Volimo da ustajemo rano ujutro za zadovoljstvo Gurua i
And
Krišne.
we engage in various activities during the day for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna.
I uključujemo se u različite aktivnosti tokom dana za zadovoljstvo Gurua i Krišne.
That's a completely different attitude. Do you realize that?
To je kompletno, potpuno različiti stav. Da li ste to spoznali?
Because mostly we only do it because I like it.
Jer mi obično radimo zato što nam se nešto sviđa.
I like to chant now, therefore I chant.
Volim da mantram sada i zato sada mantram.
I like now to distribute books, therefore I distribute.
Ja sada volim da delim knjige, zato ih delim.
I like now to go to the temple and therefore I go.
Sada volim da idem u hram, zato idem.
But this is some kind of selfishness. Of course, it's not bad, but it's still a little selfish.
To je neka vrsta sebičnosti. Naravno, nije tako loše, ali još uvek to je neka vrsta sebičnosti.
Because you do it because you like it.
Vi radite to zato što to volite, što vam se sviđa.
Oh, it's okay, it's not bad.
To je u redu, to nije tako loše.
But it's not. It's still some motivation there. It's not pure. It's not a Shuddha bhakti.
Ali još uvek neka motivacija postoji iza toga. To nije čisto, to nije Shuddha bhakti.
If you want to attain Shuddha bhakti, then you should change your attitude. Yes, I will do all these things for the pleasure of Guru Krishna. If I like or not like, I still do it.
Trebate promeniti stav. Ja ću raditi sve ove stvari, ne zato što mi se sviđaju ili ne sviđaju, već za zadovoljstvo Gurua i Krišne.
The problem is if you have an attitude because I like it today, therefore I do it. Maybe in another day you don't like it and therefore you will not do it.
Problem je sa time. Ako vam se nešto sviđa jedan dan i zbog toga to radite, možda vam se sljedeći dan neće svidjeti, onda nećete to uraditi.
So, understand the point?
Da li shvatate poentu?
So therefore it's much nicer attitude if you do it for Guru and Krishna as a promise to make them happy and satisfied. Of course, they don't need your service and that you follow it, but it is good for you.
I naravno shvatate razliku, radite to da biste Guru i Krišna bili zadovoljni sa vama. Naravno, Guru i Krišni to nije potrebno, ali je to dobro za nas.
You should not think, Guru and Krishna, they need me.
Ne trebamo razmišljati, potreban sam Guru i Krišni.
Yes, they need you if you voluntarily surrender, but they also don't need you if you think this is a force.
Da, potreban si im ako želiš dobrovoljno da se predaš, ali nisi im potreban ako misliš da je ovo neka prisila.
Or it is just a heavy burden of duty that I took upon myself and therefore I have to do it.
Ili da je to neki težak teret odgovornosti koji sam prihvatio na sebe i zato moram sve to da izvršavam.
Then they don't need it.
Onda im nisi potreban.
So they're not dependent on us.
Jer oni ne zavise od nas.
It is for our welfare, for our benefit.
To je za našu dobrobit i za naše blagostanje.
They have this attitude, yes, I will do all these different kinds of practices in Bhakti Yoga because it is very pleasing to Guru and Krishna. Therefore I do it, I like, and even I like to do it.
I zbog toga mi pristupamo tome. Da, ove stvari će zadovoljiti Gurua i Krišnu i zbog toga su mi dragi, zbog toga mi se sviđaju.
It's also very important that we like to do it. Utsahan, the utsaha, enthusiasm is very important.
To je također veoma važno da volimo to da radimo. Utsahan, entuzijazam je veoma važan.
Srila Prabhupada told that Utsahan and Rupa Goswami also, Utsahan is the number one, success formula for success in devotional service.
I Srila Prabhupada i Srila Rupa Goswami su stavili utsaham, entuzijazam na prvo mesto. To je formula uspeha.
For everything that we do, we have to have utsaha, we have to have enthusiasm.
Za sve što radimo potreban nam je utsaha, potrebno je da imamo entuzijazam.
And from utsaha, the next is endeavoring faithfully.
A sljedeće nakon utsahe je da se trudimo sa poverenjem, sa verom.
and have confidence. Be
Da
patient.
imamo poverenje,
Be patient.
da budemo strpljivi
And follow the rules and regulation of Shravana, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam very faithfully.
i da sledimo ova pravila Shravanam, Kirtanam, Višnu Smaranam sa puno vere.
Utsaham Nishaya Tarya Tata Karma Pravartana Sangatyaga Shatovrite. And these are the 6 items of favorable devotional service.
To su 6 sastojaka povoljnog predanog služenja.
Giving up asatsanga, that what is not favorable for the development of devotional service, and associating with devotees.
Napustiti društvo abakta, pošto to nije povoljno za predano služenje, i družiti se sa baktama.
Shatovrite, following in the footsteps of the previous acharyas and the great examples. This is Shatovrite. Sadhu vriti.
Satovrite ili sadhu vriti znači slijediti stope prethodnih ačarija.
Utsahan nishchaya tarya tata karma pravartana sangotyaga shatovrite. Sadhu vriti. These are the 6 items of favorable devotional service.
To su 6 sastojaka neophodnih za povoljno predano služenje.
This is actually very essential that we have the proper attitude if we are engaging in devotional service.
Od suštinske važnosti je da imamo pravilan stav kada se uključujemo u predano služenje.
Then very quickly one can make progress in the process of bhakti yoga.
Onda osoba može veoma brzo napredovati na tim lestvicama u procesu bhakti jogi.
So if you only do it out of false ego, out of proud, out of must,
ako radite samo zbog lažnog ja, zbog ponosa, zato što se mora,
or just out of duty, just that it is done,
ili samo zbog dužnosti da bi to bilo odrađeno,
that I'm finished with it and then I can do something what I like.
da završim sa time i onda da radim ono što zapravo volim, što mi se sviđa.
Then we are living in constant stress.
Onda živimo u neprestanom stresu.
We cannot find peace in devotional service, not peace in mind and in the senses.
I onda ne možemo naći mir ni u čulima, ni u umu, ni u predanom služenju.
Then we will not feel really satisfied.
I onda se nećemo osjećati zapravo zadovoljni.
Satisfaction only comes by devotional service, by pleasing Krishna.
Jer zadovoljstvo dolazi samo kroz predano služenje kada zadovoljimo Krišnu.
If Krishna is pleased, Yasmin Tushta, Jagat Tushta, then everything you and everything around you also will become pleased.
Jer kada je Krišna zadovoljan, onda i vi i sve oko vas, svi će biti zadovoljni.
So the next item is to reside in a holy place or in a temple or create in your own home a temple.
A sljedeći sastojak je živjeti na svetom mjestu ili u hramu ili od svog doma gdje živite načiniti hram.
Temple means keep pure, keep worship deity either in picture form or in deity form.
To znači da živite na čistom mjestu, da obožavate božanstvo ili obliku božanstva ili obliku slike.
And in engaging in regular devotional service, practicing these items what we have mentioned now.
I da se uključite u regularno predano služenje kroz ove sastojke ili vidove koje smo malo prenaveli.
Then another item is we should not over endeavor, we should only endeavor for that what is necessary to survive, do the needful.
Sljedeći vid je da ne trebamo se truditi previše oko bilo čega, već uraditi samo ono što je neophodno da bi mogli da preživimo, da opstanemo.
Not too much. Otherwise it becomes only a burden to maintain everything.
Ne previše, jer onda to postane samo jedan teret da se sve održi.
And then also becomes a problem.
To onda također postaje problem.
And then the next one is honoring Ekadasi vrata.
Sljedeće je poštovati Ekadaši vratu.
Yeah. 2 times in a month by not eating grains and and beans.
Dva puta
Even
mjesečno.
fasting if you can.
Onda ne jedemo žitarice i mahunarke, povoljno ako možete i da postite potpuno.
Actually, Ekadasi is very favorable for developing Krishna consciousness.
Ekadaš je veoma povoljan za razvijanje svesnosti Krišne.
So that means it's a day where we can increase and absorb more deeper in Krishna consciousness.
To je dan kada se možemo uroniti više u svesnost Krišne.
So that's and then the 10th one is offering respect to the sacred trees like a banyan tree, pipal tree.
I 10. je odavati poštovanje svetom drveću kao što je banjanovo drvo, pipalovo drvo.
Anyway, they're not trees who are growing in our region.
To svako nisu drveća koja rastu ovdje u našim regionima.
But in India, you can see people are respecting these trees. They even worship them.
Ali u Indiji možete vidjeti kako ljudi poštuju to drveće, čak ga i obožavaju.
Because there are three in the mode of goodness. Trees in the mode of goodness. They all represent either Vishnu or certain devas like Shiva.
Jer to je drveće u buni vrline koje predstavlja ili Višnu ili nikog devatu kao što je Šiva.
Like that.
Na taj način.
And then we have, of course, different other items, about 39, if you want to hear some of them.
Imamo još druge neke vidove, do 32 ako želite da ih čujete.
So marking your body with the tilak, I described this morning.
Označavati svoje telo tilakom, o tome sam pričao ovoga jutra.
That means you are accepting your body as a temple of Lord Vishnu by marking it on 12 different places with the tilak Urdhva Pundra.
To znači da prihvatate svoje telo kao hram Višnua, tako što ga obeležavate na 12 mjesta tilakom koji se zove Urdhva Pundra.
So 22nd item is decorating your body with the holy names of the Lord. That means sometimes there's some stamps, Radhishyam or maybe tilak, not by brand marking.
22. sastojak ili vid je označavati svoje telo i Krištenim imenima. Na primjer, uzmete pečat na kome su imena Radhishyam i onda otisnete, a ne da se tetovirate.
No tattoos.
Ne tetoviranje.
Only with tilak.
Jedino sa tilakom.
Then wearing the Maha flower garlands or offerings of flowers offered to the deities.
Onda sljedeće je nošenje cvetnih venaca koji su ponuđeni božanstvima.
And then if you are in front of the deity, dancing for the pleasure of them, not dance for your pleasure, dancing for the pleasure of the deities.
Onda kada ste ispred božanstava, plesanje za njihovo zadovoljstvo, a ne vaše.
Then offering your Dandava Pranam, your obeisances and prayers to the deities.
Onda odavati vaš Dandavat Pranam, puno poštovanje i svoje molitve uputiti božanstvima.
And whenever the deity is opening, how say, curtain or appearing in how say, what's the English, in a procession, then you should rise and take darshan and follow the deity and standing up from sitting place.
I onda trebate uvek ustati kada se otvara zavesa da pozdravite božanstvo, da date poštovanje. Također kad prolazi procesija u kojoj se nosi božanstvo, trebate odmah ustati da mu date poštovanje i pridružiti se procesiji i slijediti božanstvo.
Next one is regularly visiting the temple. That's not a problem in your country here.
Sljedeća je stvar posjećivati hram. To nije problem u ovoj zemlji gdje vi živite.
So but you can visit devotees and associate with devotees.
Ali možete posjećivati bhakte, družiti se s njima.
And then going on parikrama.
Onda odlaziti na parikrame.
circumambulating the temple 3 or 4 times, or go on parikrama visiting holy places.
Obilaziti oko hrama 3 ili 4 puta, odlaziti na parikrame, obilaziti razna sveta mesta.
Singing for the pleasure of the Lord, not for your pleasure, but for the pleasure of the Lord.
Pevanje za zadovoljstvo božanstava, ne za vaše zadovoljstvo.
Then this is known as kirtan, not schlager.
Onda to je poznato kao kirtan, a ne šlager.
If you only sing for yourself, that's schlager, but if you sing for Krishna, this is kirtan.
Ako pevate za sebe, to je kao šlager sezone. A ako pevate za Krišnu, to je kirtan.
Yeah, then chanting japa, that means chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra softly without agitating others.
Onda džapa, pevati Hare Krishna Maha Mantru tiho, bez toga da uznemiravate druge.
And archana, doing worship of the deity with different items.
Obožavanje božanstava, to je također jedan od vidova.
Then what is offering your prayers.
Onda sljedeće, nuđenje svojih molitvi.
Chanting different hymns or stutis or stotras, prayers.
Pevanje različitih himni, stuti, stotri ili himni ili molitvi.
Then accepting, that's something that everyone likes, accepting the food remnants of the Lord, Mahaprasadam.
Ovo je nešto što se svakom sviđa, prihvatati ostatke hrane, prasadam gospodov.
But even that you should do respectfully, not in just, I like or I don't like.
I to trebate raditi isto s puno poštovanja. Ne, ovo mi se sviđa, a ovo mi se baš i ne sviđa.
So we should be very respectful and thankful that you have opportunity to eat and to respect Mahaprasadam.
Trebamo biti veoma puni poštovanja. Pa dobio sam Mahaprasadam.
Mahaprasadam is very rare.
Mahaprasadam je veoma redak.
It's very rare.
Veoma
Narad Muni, one time he had a piece of Mahaprasadam and he shared it with Shiva.
Narada Muni je jednom imao komadić Mahaprasadama i on ga je podelio sa Šivom.
And then Shiva felt very ecstatic.
I onda je Šiva ostio veliki zanos.
So Mother Parvati came and asked, why are you so much ecstatic now?
Majka Parvati je došla i pitala Šivu, zašto si u tako velikom zanosu sada?
Oh, my dear wife, Shiva told, just imagine I got a piece of Mahaprasad from Lord Narayan.
Draga moja žena, samo zamisli, dobio sam komadić Mahaprasadama od gospodina Višnua, Narada Muni mi ga je doneo.
So Parvati told, and what is with me?
A Parvati je rekla, šta je sa mnom?
I'm your better half, so you also thought about me to also give me a little Mahaprasad?
Ja sam tvoja bolja polovina, da li si mislili na mene, da daš i meni komadić Mahaprasadama?
And she was, sorry, it was only very little, so I was so much eager for it, so I swallowed myself.
I Šiva je rekao, boli te, oprosti mi, to je bio tako jedan malecki, majušti komadić, da sam ga samo ovako uzeo i progutao ga jako brzo sam.
So then Parvati, she made a promise.
I onda je Parvati dala obećanje.
So from now on, Mahaprasadam should always be available for everyone, So she became known as Annapurna.
Mahaprasadam od sada mora biti dostupan svakome. I zato je poznata kao Annapurna.
And in Jagannathpuri, there is goddess Bimala.
I u Jagannathpuriju postoji boginja koja se zove Bimala.
Therefore it's got Bimala Prasad. You heard about that?
Zato postoji ime Bimala Prasad. Čuli ste o tome?
Bimala Prasad is the prasadam of goddess Bimala.
Bimala Prasad je prasadam od boginje Bimale.
Whatever is offered, whatever bhoga is offered to Lord Jagannath is offered next to Bimala, the goddess.
Kakav god Mahaprasadam da se ponudi gospodinu Jagannathu, prvo se ponudi nakon toga boginji Bimali.
She is Parvati, she is Durga.
Ona je Parvati, ona je Durga.
Then after she ate, then it is distributed to all people.
I nakon što je ona jela ili častila, onda se to deli svim ostalim ljudima.
Therefore, this is called Maha Maha Prasadam.
I zbog toga se to zove Maha Maha Prasadam.
So then Prasadam becomes Maha and Maha Maha Prasadam.
Onda Prasadam postaje Maha i Maha Maha Prasadam.
So then, and one should respect drinking Chanamrita, water, what is offered to the Lord, or bathing water.
Onda osoba treba poštovati Čeredamritu, vodom kojom su kupana božanstva ili
Smelling incense.
Mirisati mirisni štapić.
Not incense what is not offered, but incense what is first offered, and then we smell. The principle is first Krishna should be pleased, and then I will be pleased.
I mirisni štapić, naravno, prvo ga ponudimo Krišni pa ga onda mirišemo, a ne da ga mirišemo ako nije ponuđen. Princip je da sve prvo ponudimo Krišni da on uživa, a nakon toga mi to prihvatamo da bismo mi uživali.
Touching the lotus feet of the Lord.
Dodirivati lotosova stopala Gospoda.
Especially pujaris do.
To posebno puđari rade.
Always regularly take darshan of the deity.
Uvek regularno uzimati daršan božanstava.
And see him with great eagerness.
I doći da ga vidimo sa velikom željom, žudnjom.
Participating in the Arctic ceremonies and doing Arctic yourself, or look how Arctic is performed.
Gledati kako se vrši Arctic ceremonija ili sami možemo da vršimo Arctic.
Praying and expecting for the Lord's mercy.
Moliti se i očekivati Gospodovu milost.
Remembering, smaranam, the Lord.
Smaranam, sjetiti se Gospoda.
Offering your friendship. This we can only do when we have spontaneous attraction.
Ponuditi mu svoje prijateljstvo, to možemo samo onda kad imamo spontanu privlačnost.
And ultimately offer everything to us, to Lord, Atmanivedanam.
I na kraju ponuditi sve što posjedujemo Gospodinu, to se zove Atmanivedanam.
And also offering that it is very, very dear to you, not only that what you don't need.
Također ponuditi Gospodinu ono što nam je jako drago, a ne ono što nam ne treba.
Then Tulsi Seva, it's already mentioned, I think.
Onda tu je služenje Tulasi, mislim da sam to već spomenuo.
Service to the Srimad Bhagavatam, that means hearing, speaking about Bhagavatam, reading Bhagavatam.
Služba za Srimad Bhagavatam, to znači slušati, recitovati, čitati Srimad Bhagavatam.
To hear Bhagavatam in the association of devotees is more powerful, more potent than personal reading.
Slušati Srimad Bhagavatam u društvu Bhakta je mnogo moćnije nego sam čitati Bhagavatam.
Then Vaishnava Seva and Vaishnava Association.
Onda služenje Bhakta i druženje sa njima.
Participating in some festivals.
Učestvovati u nekim festivalima.
Following Kartik Vrata.
Slijediti Kartik Zavet.
And celebrating the Lord's appearance days.
I slaviti Gospodove dane pojava.
And 5 of them are most important. That means associating with devotees.
Zadnjih 5 su najvažniji. Oni su druženje sa Bhaktima.
To chant the holy name.
Pevanje svetog imena.
To hear Srimad Bhagavatam.
Slušanje Srimad Bhagavatama.
To worship the deities and to live in a holy place.
Obožavanje božanstava i život na svetom mjestu.
So these are the 64 angas of a devotional service.
I to su 64 vidova predanog služenja.
And the purpose of these 64 angas is always to remember Krishna and to never forget him.
I smisao ovih 64 oblika ili vidova predanog služenja je da se uvek sećamo Krišne i da ga nikad ne zaboravimo.
That was the point of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and that's what Sanatana Goswami, what Srila Rupa Goswami, what our Guru Parampara is teaching us.
I to je bila poenta Čitanje Mahaprabhua, Sanatana Gosvamija i ono što nas naš guru Parampara podučava.
So in this way we can make a genuine process in devotional service, bhakti yoga.
I na taj način možemo napraviti istinski napredak u procesu predanog služenja u bhakti.
No day will go by, without waste and without feeling boring.
I nijedan dan neće vam proteći, a da se osjećate dosadno.
So, thank you very much. I'm stopping here.
Hvala vam jako puno, ovdje ću se zaustaviti.
Srila Prabhupada, Sankirtan ki jai.
Jai.
Shantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai.
Jai.
All the assembled devotees ki jai.
Jai.
Some question arrived?
Da li ima nekih pitanja? Yes, there are 2 questions in the chat. So I will read them now. Should I read them first in Serbian or in English?
English first.
English first. In the CC Adi 2117, he writes, false devotees think that studying books of the previous acharyas is unadvisable, like studying dry empiric philosophies. But Srila Jiva Goswami, following the previous acharyas, has included probably the conclusions of the scriptures in the 6 theses called the Shat Sandarbhas. False devotees who have very little knowledge of such conclusions fail to achieve pure devotion for want of zeal in accepting the favorable directions for devotional service given by self-realized devotees. Also in Srimad Bhagavatam 6.7.15.41 he writes, there are so many Vedic literatures, including Vedanta Sutra, the Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharata, and the Ramayana. One should take lessons from these Vedic literatures and learn how to practice Nirvriti Marga. What do you think about these quotes? So maybe I will just make a summary.
The question is a quote from by Srila Prabhupada.
Ko je ovo napisao, Bhakti? Da li je ovo citiran Srila Prabhupada?
Da, to je Srila Prabhupada piše, da.
Avaduta Raya wrote this and he said yes, he said Srila Prabhupada.
Prabhupada quote from Chaitanya Charitamrita, which part?
Adi
217.
117, okay. Okay, now you can maybe make there's actually no need for translation, so I will speak about it.
Nema potrebe za prevodom, sad će duhovni učitelj govoriti o ovom.
Yes, there are many, how we say, additional literatures what one can study.
Naravno, postoji mnoga dopunska literatura koju osoba može studirati, proučavati.
Like Jiva Goswami's Satsandarbha, like Rupa Goswami's Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu.
Kao Srila Jiva Gosvamijeva Satsandarbha, kao Rupa Gosvamijeva Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu.
I also mentioned Mahabharata and so many other, we have so many other books written by the acharyas and also Puranic literatures.
I kao što je ovdje opisano, mnoge knjige koje su nam dali prethodne ačarije, onda razne Purane.
I would say it is, Avaduta, it is like according to your appetite.
Ja bih to rekao da je to u skladu sa apetitom određene osobe.
Like somebody who has a good fire on digestion, he can eat a lot.
Kao neko ko ima dobru vatru varenja, on može jesti puno.
They can easily maybe digest 64 preps.
On može lako možda da svari čak i 64 preparacije.
But somebody who has a weak appetite, who is in the beginning, how say, of sadhana bhakti, how say, in the practice, and has not so much an appetite for devotional service and to absorb all these topics, I would not recommend to eat 64 preps.
ali onaj koji ima slab apetit i slabu vatru varenja, koji je početnik u predanom služenju, njemu se ne preporučuje da jede 64 preparacije.
Otherwise, you will lie in the bed for 1 week.
Inače će ležati u krevetu nedelju dana.
Or you will feel so much indigestion that you will not eat properly anymore. You lose appetite for devotional practice completely.
Ili će toliko poremetiti svoju vatru varenja da će izgubiti apetit uopšte za praktikovanje predanog služenja.
Or another example is by you have now a little fire of bhakti.
Drugi primjer je takav. Na primjer, imate vatru bhakti.
So that means you have to be very careful to feed this fire to gradually increase it.
To znači da trebate biti veoma pažljivi da polako povećavate tu vatru.
Because if you put too much fuel, I would say gallons of fuel on the fire, this becomes extinguished.
Jer ako sipate odjedanput previše goriva na vatru, ona će postati ugašena. Gasit će se.
Understand?
Razumeš?
Not completely, but okay.
No, not completely. Yeah, but that means you don't want to understand.
Ne razumeš kompletno, to znači da ne želiš da ovo shvatiš.
Because more practical, I cannot explain it.
Jer praktičnije od ovoga ja ne mogu da objasnim.
And only read certain books, you know, if you have a certain, I would say, realization and steadiness in devotional service. In the beginning stage, I would not recommend.
Određene knjige možeš da čitaš samo ako imaš određenu već postojanost u predanom služenju. Inače, ja ti to ne bih preporučio.
Only, otherwise you will just become crazy.
Inače ćeš samo postati lud.
But not in a healthy way crazy. Not in a healthy way crazy.
Ne na zdrav način lud.
Therefore, we should read that books, you know, what Srila Prabhupada has given us. That means these 4 books I mentioned. That's Prabhupada's own instruction. We should read minimum these books 3 times and more.
To znači da trebamo čitati ove 4 knjige koje sam već napomenuo, koje nam je dao Srila Prabhupada, i trebamo čitati minimum 3 puta ili više.
And also practice that what is in the books.
I također praktikovati ono što je u knjigama.
And then maybe some other books gradually becomes interested for you. You can apply in your reading material.
I onda možda tokom vremena neke druge knjige postanu zanimljive za vašu praksu i onda ih možete uključiti u vaš materijal za čitanje.
But as far as I can see, it's all everything what it's written actually from the acharyas, previous acharyas, you also find in Prabhupada's books.
Ali ono što ja mogu da primijetim je da sve što možete da pročitate u knjigama prethodnih acharya, sve se nalazi, sve je zapisano u Srila Prabhupadovim knjigama.
In a healthy way.
Na zdrav način.
Second question.
Drugo pitanje, actually, ja?
Imam drugo pitanje, ako može, ako ne.
Yes, Avaduta can ask directly.
Okay.
In the Srimad Bhagavatam 4.24, okay?
U Srimad Bhagavatamu 4.24.
It is there is the shlok advancement is considered waste of time if one is carried away by material energy.
Kaže se, napredak je jednostavno gubljenje vremena ako osobu odvuku talasi materijalne energije.
Could you explain this?
I don't know, it's no purport then?
4.24.
Huh?
The fourth...
4 canto, 24 chapter, text?
No, chapter 20, text 4.
Okay. 20 takes 4. Takes 4. Vishnu's appearance in the sacrificial arena of Maharaj Prithu.
Višnu se pojavljuje u žrtvenoj areni Maharaja Prithu.
It's in the purport.
Da li je to u smislu?
No, here. If a personality like you, who are so much advanced because of executing the instructions of the previous acharyas, is carried away by the influence of my material energy, then all your advancement may be considered simply a waste of time.
Ako tako napredna osoba poput tebe bude odnešena materijalnom prirodom, onda će sav tvoj napredak biti smatran jednostavnom gubitkom vremena.
That's when horses were stolen, no, by Indra.
To je kad je konje ukrao Indra, zar ne?
Because Prithu wanted to offer 100 horse sacrifices, Ashvamedha, but then one horse was kidnapped.
Prithu je želeo da izvrši 100 Ashvamedha žrtvovanja, ali jedan konj je bio kidnapovan.
So therefore he should not be attached to the result.
I piše, zato ne trebaš biti vezan za rezultat.
First, Prithu Maharaj, he want to get the horse back, you know, to fulfill this vrata.
Prvo je Prithu Maharaj hteo da dovede tog konja nazad, da bi izvršio svoju vratu.
But actually then the Lord appeared and the others appeared, you know, and told him you should not be attached to this result. You can also become famous with 99 sacrifices.
Ali onda je rečeno Maharaja Prithu, ne trebaš to raditi, ne trebaš biti vezan, možeš biti poznat i po tome što si uradio 99 žrtvovanja konja.
Why it was waste of time? Why it would be waste of time?
Yeah, because you suddenly become attached to the result, not actually to the service.
A zbog čega je to gubitak vremena? Zato što postaje osoba vezana za rezultat, a ne za predano služenje.
Because ultimately Prithu Maharaj, he was a great soul and he was dedicated fully, you know, in his devotional service.
Jer na kraju krajeva Maharaj Prithu je bio velika duša i on je bio vezan za svoju službu.
So you should not become angry and envious on Indra because he could offer not the 100, the one horse more.
I zato nije trebao biti ljut na Indru kada je ovo ukrao konja da ga spreči da izvrši tu 100. jagiju.
Because the Lord anyway was satisfied with him.
Jer Gospod je već postao zadovoljan s tim.
Also if he would now over-endeavoring to achieve something just because of a result, that will nullify everything what he did.
Jer ako se bude trudio da dostigne nešto samo zbog rezultata i to uz ogroman napor, to će poništiti sve.
That was the point.
To je bila poenta.
Therefore we should not over-endeavor.
I zbog toga ne trebamo se previše truditi.
In book distribution, maybe we also sometimes over-endeavor because I don't make the quota what I wanted to achieve, and then I become so much attached to the number of books, you know, that I become completely crazy. You become completely mental, and you lose the whole benefit of the day.
Kao na primjer kada delimo knjige, ako zacrtamo neku kvotu, a ne možemo da je ispunimo, onda postanemo ko ludi i uništimo sebi dan. Propastimo.
I don't know. Do you also have such experience sometimes?
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Every day. Especially in marathon time.
Yeah,
Svaki dan
therefore should not be attacked. We can try our best, but the result is not in our hands. And if you try to make it by hook and by crook the result, then you become completely mental, and in the end you will not feel satisfied. You feel even dirty and completely polluted. That means the whole day of devotional service is fudge, you know, is it's gone.
Ipak se ne trebamo previše truditi, jer ako izgorimo u tome, ako se trudimo kukom i motikom i pređemo sve granice, onda ćemo se upropastiti to svoje predano služenje. Propastit ćemo sve.
Okay, you got another question?
Yes, I have.
Maybe somebody else.
Dobro, da li još neko ima pitanja? Yes, I would like to ask you, Guru Maharaj.
Okay.
I sometimes have the problem to put all the daily items of devotional service in proper order. Worshipping the deities, chanting 16 rounds, reading, singing, going out, cleaning, cooking. Sometimes the day is too short, and then I'm not able to do everything, although I want, although it's a minimum.
That means you are very fortunate.
To znači da si veoma sretan.
Yeah, you have to you may have to make a schedule according to your situation, and then do that, you know.
Trebate napraviti plan u skladu sa svojom situacijom i onda to uraditi.
It's actually good to do everything at the same time, because then it becomes a favorable habit.
Zapravo dobro je raditi sve u isto vrijeme, jer onda to postaje povoljna navika.
Not that we are doing everything else and then chant 16 rounds at midnight, you know, then your chanting will be fudge, you know, will be also be not so beneficial.
Ne da radite sve druge stvari, a krenete da mantrate u ponoć, onda vaše mantranje neće baš doneti neke povoljnosti.
Therefore, Prabhupada says chanting is most important, therefore we should do it first.
Zato je Šrila Prabhupada rekao, mantranje je najvažnije i zato njega trebamo uraditi prvo.
And reading also, in midday reading, you know, I would not recommend, you feel sleepy, you know. So the best time to read is in the morning.
Najbolje vrijeme za čitanje je ujutru. Vrijeme oko podneva ne bih preporučio, onda se osoba osjeća pospanom.
In the evening mostly it's also, you're tired and then you're not so much concentrated. In the evening you should only read and hear something easy to accept and to follow, not very philosophical things.
Također uveć trebate čitati, već ste pospani, umorni. Ne nešto jako filozofski, ne već nešto onako lagano.
And deity worship is also in the morning, it's not in afternoon. So you do first chanting and deity worship, that's all in the morning.
Prvo što trebate uraditi, to je mantranje, zatim obožavanje božanstava, ne uveć, to je sve na prvom mjestu.
So you have to be a little fixed, not spaced out, then you can do it nicely.
Trebaš biti malo utemeljen, a ne space out, onda ćeš to uraditi lepo.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
That's all.
Da li je to sve, Bhakti? Da li imate još pitanja?
One short technical.
All your questions are technical.
Well, in the previous chapter, 220, the 19, there is no purport to text 30, and Prabhupada translates that all the demigods are part and parcel of Indra.
Yeah.
How is that? We usually hear part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead here, of Indra.
Yeah, because Indra is the principle of all the demigods. So all demigods are, are also in him. He's the practically Krishna amongst the demigods.
Indra je glavni od svih polubogova, tako da zapravo svi polubogovi su kao u njemu ili njegovi delići. On je zapravo Krišna među polubogovima.
So therefore he's the chief of all the demigods, it's Indra Dev.
I zbog toga on glavni među svim polubogovima. On je Indra Dev.
Therefore he is known as Indra. Indra means he's the king of the devas, Indra Dev.
I zato je poznat kao Indra Dev, kralj polubogova.
His name is Purandar.
Njegovo ime je Purandar.
Purandara Indra Dev.
Purandara Indra Dev.
That's the name of Indra in this age. That's the name of Indra in this age.
To je ime Indre u ovome dobu.
Okay. Otherwise, you have to ask him if you meet him once.
Inače, moraš to njega da pitaš ako ga jednom sretneš.
No, thank you.
Why not? You ask me. You know? So I
Too
have
high.
to know
It's too high for me. But you are higher.
I can speculate for you. Huh? Hey, Vishnu, how can you say I'm higher? Okay, good. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, glory to Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Yeah.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Jai Vanamali.
Hare Krishna.
Ist Bala auch mit dir?
Heute, hat noch etwas anderes vor. Also ist da mal, kommt gerade.
Hare Krishna Gurudev. Hare Bol.
Aber nicht zugehört.
Hare Krishna.
Aber nicht zugehört, hä?
Ich habe noch eine Unterredung gehabt mit einem Gast.
Ah, nur mit einem Ohr dabei.
Richtig. Danke. Aber mit dem Herzen.
Ja, klar.
Grüße an Goranga Priya.
Ja, Grüße.
Okay, gut. Sie richtet auch Grüße aus.
Wunderbar. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Und ich habe eine Gitarre verkauft jetzt gerade.
Oh, sehr gut. Bala Krishna, this sold a Bhagavad Gita now.
Okay. Jai, Prabhuji. Nice. Ananda. Alles deine Mercy.
Nowadays, we are very happy about every book we can distribute.
Very nice.
Yeah, these special Corona books.
Corona, Karuna.
Karuna, yeah, Karuna, Guru Maharaj, yes.
Karuna time for special mercy.
Karuna vreme posebne milosti.
So everything is favorable.
Sve je povoljno, zar ne?
Also then, huh? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Bol. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.